Okay, guys, so let's start now. I think it's already 6:05, and today we're going to cover up the very first lecture about strategic management. But before starting the strategic management, we will discuss about what do you mean by strategy. Okay, so as you can see on my screen right now, a strategy is basically a decision-making approach with the help of which we can plan a particular action, we can design a blueprint, we can be more futuristic, and we can actually go through how a particular company can achieve their future goals. Okay, in a very simple language, if we talk about a strategy in a simple language, it's all about a planning of action for the future. Okay, this strategy making, as you know, that it's not about related to the professional life, but when it's come to personal life as well, when it's come to business world as well, when it's come to policy making as well, the strategy as a word or strategic management as a subject, if we talk about, always plays very crucial role when it's come to decision making in our routine life as well, or when we talk about in the professional world as well. Okay, now, when we discuss about the basic functionality of the future, the strategy, if we talk about, as we know that, like, definitely we are discussing this particular subject from the business perspective. And as we talk about the very first characteristics of this strategy, and as you know that the strategy making, the policy making, the decision making, which is being done by the organization, it is the whole sole responsibility of the top management. And as we know that the top management is basically completely responsible that how an organization will actually root their success, how the organization can actually plan about their future. Okay, in such a cases, it's very important that the top management responsibility is always there in order to run, in order to, you could say, we can say, wave the path of any organization for the future. Okay, the second and the important thing about the strategy is allocation of large amount of resources. Now, when we discuss about the term resources, we are talking about the human resource. We talk, usually we can talk as a manpower, we can say. Apart from manpower, we're talking about the financial resources, we talk about intellectual level. Okay, so in this particular case of resources, if you're talking right now, the resources must be allocated, must be deployed in such a sense that there should be a particular efficiency level which the company always would be able to achieve that. It is about the allocation of large amount of resources. Next part, please. That is about the prosperity now we're talking right now. Now, as I already told you, in order to achieve the success in your business world or for your organization, or you could say in your personal life as well, you always need to consider that whatever strategy, whatever policy making you're going to do, it's very important that it should actually help the company in order to, you could say, achieve their future target in the future. Okay, now, in this particular case, very important that long-term prosperity is all about, because when we talk about the prosperity from the business perspective, it is all about the profit making. It is all about the social services. It is all about the maintaining your status quo, maintaining your brand in the market when it's come to, you could say, creating your image, your product image, your company's image in the mind of the customer. And as we know that the strategy is basically more about, you could say, planning to action. And planning to action is all about, basically, we always concerned about the future oriented action. We're always concerned about the future course of action which the company want to achieve. We're always concerned about how the company would be actually, you could say, waving their path towards success, towards the target which they want to achieve. The future orientation is basically all about how the company can actually achieve their vision, actually company can achieve their mission, and how the company can actually achieve their goals as well. Goals we're talking about the short-term objectives in the organization. The strategy next functionality is all about the multifunctional or multi-business consequences. Now, when we discuss about the multifunctional or multi-business consequences, we are talking about how a particular company not only thinking about one of subsidiary, but the company is also concerned about how they can actually design the path for diversification of the business as well. Now, as you know that, like when we discuss about the umbrella, now, when we talk about the umbrella of a particular organization or a particular brand, like we talk about the example of Reliance, we talk about the example of Adani, we talk about the example of you could say HUL. These big brands, what they are doing ultimately, they are actually creating or you could say designing their strategy in such a manner so that they could target the multifunctionality. Multifunctionality means multi-domain business or multi-domain area which they can cover up. Multi-business basically is all about how the company actually not only targeting the domestic territory, but their territory or their future or their exposure. So it should be in such a manner that they basically can target about different profiles as well, different countries as well, different regions as well is the most important part. The last but not the least, we're talking right now, the consideration of factor in the external environment. Now, as we know that, like whenever we are talking about, like for example, you are planning to, you could say expand your business, you are planning to open to launch a new product. If we talk about, if any strategy or any decision making that the company has to do, they always need to go for PESTEL analysis. Here, PESTEL stands for political, economical, social, technical, ecological, economical, whatsoever. Means all the economic factors which directly or indirectly affect the strategy making of the company, that is called your external environment. And always remember, the external environment are always uncontrollable in nature, and it's a responsibility of the top management that they need to keep in mind all the factors which may directly or indirectly affect the company's operation. So these are the basic factors or basic features we talked about regarding the strategy. And one more thing, if I'll tell you again, this subject is similar to the marketing management. I think we discussed, a few months back. And again, in this subject, we always want to plan about more about the class activities, because this subject is not theoretical subject. Again, I'm telling you, this subject is more about intellectual ability. This subject is more about thinking. This subject is more about execution. So this subject I'm not going to cover up in theoretical context. Today, as we know, that definitely very, very first class we have. And those who are, I think, attending the class very first time, I'm just telling you that my classes always start from Tuesday to Saturday. That is from 6 to 7 or 7:30. And Monday, we always have a doubt clearing sessions. Okay. So as of now, please, any doubt to anyone when we discuss about this particular subject, strategy, what exactly the meaning of that and the features of the same.
So can you show first slide?
Yeah, sure, Rahul, please.
So first slide.
First slide is introduction only.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Here? Okay, Rahul. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Any other doubt, please, till this point? Mr. Ashish, please kindly mute. And those who are new to my class, please, if you have any query, do let me know. And those who are my old students, please, those who have already attended my classes, because again, I'll just share the ebooks and notes and case study again on the same broadcasting group. Okay. So those who are not added to my WhatsApp group, definitely just kindly note on my number and do let me know. I'll just add you today itself. Because from tomorrow onwards, I'll just give daily class activities to you. Fine, guys. Any query to anyone, please? I think so. Because I can see a lot of new students I can see in today's class.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please, Sajan, tell me.
Sir, last point of strategies features.
It is consideration?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. See, when we discuss about Srijan, it's all about the external environment. Now, as you know that I'll take a very basic example in front of you. For example, you're running your own factory right now. Okay. And you are definitely, let us suppose you are manufacturing, we can say some grocery products, if we talk about, or some, we could say fast moving consumer goods, maybe it may be. Okay. Whenever you are actually starting your business, definitely you always assess about your competitors. You always assess about the level of competition in the particular locality, about the customer affordability, about the government support. When we discuss about the purchasing power of the consumer, availability of the raw material, I hope so. There's a basic factor we always keep in mind. Okay. Always remember, whenever we are planning the strategy of the company, whenever we are thinking about how we can expand the organization, how we can actually sustain in the long run, how we can compete with their competitors, in all such cases, we always need to keep in mind that external factor always plays a very crucial role. And in order to pave your path towards success in the organization, you always need to keep in mind about all factors which are uncontrollable in nature and which may have a direct bearing on the company's operations. Okay, this region,
Okay,
this
sir.
may be like your government factors. We maybe talk about, you could say, factor related to customer, related to competitors, suppliers. Okay, foreign market players as well. So there are so many factors which we can consider, which may have a direct bearing on the company's success. That is called your consideration of the external factors.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sujan.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Sakshi, please tell me.
Sir, can you share your number?
Yeah, please, everyone, those who are new to my class, please kindly just note my number and just text me on my WhatsApp. I'll add you on the broadcasting group. Okay, because there are a lot of students, those who are new to this class, because my pedagogy is very different. I always teach more practical part, not about the theoretical part. Okay, so those who are already attending my classes, definitely they better know about how we actually proceed the classes when it's come to certain subjects, which is more analytical, which is more based on thinking power. Okay. Yes, please note on my number, students. It is 99260. I'm just typing on my screen if you can see as well. It's 99260299096. And myself, Professor Ankit Walia.
Okay, sir.
Okay, everyone, those who are new to my class, please kindly note down this part. And again, one more information, because on daily basis, you have to attend the classes with same ID. Okay, so whether you are receiving the ID from the institute or not, it doesn't matter. You need to attend the classes with the same ID on daily basis. For my class, I'm talking right now. I'm not talking about other classes, but for my classes, you need to attend. One more important thing, those who are new to the class, on daily basis, I used to share some exercise to the students. Okay, be prepared for that. Submit your answer before 6 p.m. on daily basis. Tuesday to Saturday, we have the routine classes. Sunday is off, and Monday we have the doubt clearing sessions. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Perfect. Any other query, please, to anyone? Related to ebooks and notes of the subject as well, I'll also share on the WhatsApp itself. Okay. Guys, done? Yes, friend, please kindly confirm. Shall we move? So
Yes,
let's start now. Now I have just mentioned one very basic example about Reliance. Okay, definitely Reliance has actually moved forward in a very bigger sense right now. But how the Reliance journey started? Because definitely again we are discussing about the concept of strategy. Okay, and as you can see that the journey of Reliance over here. Okay, the building blocks of Reliance. Now, whenever we discuss about this building blocks are nothing but basically the planning of the company, not for the short-term period of time, but the company have that long-term perspective. And in order to achieve those long-term perspective for the company, they always need to consider how they can achieve their short-term
मैम
goals.
20 हुई है अभी कर रहा हूँ मैं अभी मैम मेल चेक कर रहा हूँ मेरे मेल आए कुछ
Mr. Anirudh, please kindly mute. And student, please kindly maintain decency of the class. Keep yourself muted if it is not required. And if you have any query, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Yes. So we are discussing about this very basic journey about the Reliance, as you can see right now, how the Reliance has basically started their journey from 2010 when actually IRIL buy 95% stake in the Infotel to enter into telecom business. Now, again, I'm just telling you, I'm just mentioning one very basic example over here about the strategy making. Now, even though if we talk about like various automobile sector as well, how the Kia Motors with the brand of Seltos enter into the market, and because of that particular Seltos brand, the Kia has become one of the most prominent brand in the automobile sector. Move to the Apple again. How the Apple has started their journey from 2007 or 8, and what the position of the Apple right now in the market. Whatever example I'm just covering right now, always try to understand how the company is basically paving their path towards achieving the global recognition, towards achieving the success in the market, towards achieving the vision which they have actually initiated, and whether the vision is become the reality or not in the market which we are talking right now. Always remember, this is just only the template I'm just mentioning in front of you. But when we discuss about the strategy making, the strategy making is basically all about how the company is basically paving their path from the scratch till become a global leader in the market. Okay. Now, as I told you, the strategy as a very basic definition, it's all about planning to action, planning to execution, the paving the path of success. I'm talking about various n number of, you could say, the acronyms which we are discussing right now. But the important thing is that whenever we discuss about the strategy making, or when we discuss strategy, strategies in a simple language is nothing but how the company can able to achieve their goal, which may be short term, which may be long term, with some tactical objectives. Now, what is tactical objectives over here? Tactics are nothing but basically a short-term strategies, or a good sub-strategy of the company, with the help of which they would be able to achieve their goals in the market, or goals in the marketplace, better to say, I think so. Now, when we discuss about this particular simplified definition of the strategy and the tactics, because with the help of tactics only, we would be able to achieve the ultimate goal which you want to attain. In a very basic scenario right now, for example, most of you might be, you could say, doing your MBA from IIBM, and you might have your strategic goal in front of you. Your strategic goal may be to open a very good business, to, you could say, got a very good placement from the institute, or to actually grab an opportunity in the market to join a very good MNC or a particular global company in the market. Now, the important thing is that the journey, like as example, I have in front of you, Ayushi, I better know about that. How the Ayushi started is her journey actually in IIBM. And definitely Ayushi may have certain sort of strategic goal in the future. That strategic goal which she paved actually, as I know about Ayushi as well, that her father is a very good banker actually in SBI, I think is working. And definitely her father also having certain ambitions, certain goal in the future. And that is the only reason that Ayushi is basically paving her path towards achieving this strategic goal. Ayushi, please can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ayushi, that's a very basic example. Again, the personal example we're discussing right now. Definitely, Ayushi, before you could say starting your academic career or your educational, you could say qualification you're talking right now, somehow you have some planning in your mind. Your father might have planning in your mind. And in order to achieve that planning, in order to achieve that ultimate goal which the father may dreamed of,
Yes.
you also have dreamed something basically in your future, you would be able to achieve that with the help of some short-term goals. First semester, second semester, internships, final semester, placements. Definitely. This journey of Ayushi we are talking right now. I hope so Ayushi
Yes,
is
sir.
clear. Because the difference between tactics and planning, it's very, very simple. And planning to achieve that tactics, because plan is what? It is nothing but a bridge between where we are right now and what we actually wanted to achieve in the future. The bridge between these two, you could say terminal, is basically called your planning. And execution of that planning is called your strategy. And achieving the strategy is with the help of tactics. I hope so, guys, I have cleared this particular point. Is there any doubt to anyone? Please do let me. Strategy, planning, tactics, sub-strategies. I hope so all these terms are clear with the example as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ayushi, thank you so much. Anyone else, please? Like
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Sudesh. Thank you so much. So shall we move, I think, please, to the next slide?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. And guys, please be ready again. I think those who are old students of mine, now for this particular subject, you will get the exercise on daily basis. Okay, so just please be prepared for that. And it is compulsory for everyone to complete the task, which I will give you on the daily basis now. Okay, now, when we start about this particular definition of strategic management, as of now, we have discussed about what is strategy, what is tactics, what is planning. Now, Once we are talking about the strategic management, as we know that whenever we formulate any strategy in the market, for example, again, like how the Mukesh Ambani has actually entered into telecom sector. Again, I'm just quoting their example right now. Entering into telecom sector and becoming a particular national brand, or you could say, we can say the penetration which the Jio has achieved right now. It's not about Reliance only. Reliance started with Kar Lo Duniya Mutti Mein. That was the basic aim or the goal which they have. Kar Lo Duniya Mutti Mein is basically the tagline which they have started with, and now you can see the level of or the achievement or the position of Reliance in the market when it's come to telecommunication sector. We'll take some other examples as well. How the Starbucks has started their journey from Tata, or with Tata, we can say. How this particular different airlines have started their journey. The important thing is that the think tank, the brain behind any company always plays a very crucial role. Like we talk about Chanda Kochhar. Okay, we talk about Mr. Premji, Ajit Premji. We talk about Ratan Tata. What these persons are doing, why they become so successful in the market. Okay, it is a very, very important part we're talking right now, the strategic management, because these are the central body or central thinking power or central think tank of any company, with the help of which you may be able to achieve a long-term performance for the company. Now, definitely, ultimately, the important part is all about having a vision in your mind. Okay, you talk about Warren Buffett, the one of the, you could say, the best strategy maker when it's come to the markets. He has actually the way he thinks, the instinct the particular Mr. Warren Buffett had to have. The examples are endless we're talking right now. The most important part is that the strategic management we are talking right now, it is basically the whole sole responsibility and authority of top management to execute their plan, to start about their planning in terms of whether the company would be able to achieve all those success in long run or not. Again, like I think Mr. Where's the guys? I think I didn't remember the name. Yes, Mr. Srijan, I think, has asked the query about the scanning of the environment. Okay, a few minutes before. The most important part when we discuss about this particular strategic management, the strategic management is basically all about consideration of 5 basic stages. Okay, as you can see on my screen as well, the most important part is environmental scanning. Without environmental scanning, without environment analysis, it is very difficult for the company in order to start their business, in order to actually keep in mind about all those important considerations which may directly or indirectly affect the company's operations. Second and the most important part is strategic formulation. Strategic formulation is nothing but, as I told you, tactics and strategy, sub-strategy and strategy. In order to achieve the company's long-term goal or company's long-term objective, it is very, very important that the formulation, that the execution of those strategy must be proper, must be up to the mark. And it's very, very important that the strategic formulation may be, you could say, a short term or it may be a long term as well. Short term, basically, why we're discussing right now, because short term objective or short term formulation is basically such a manner that the company always want to achieve certain parameters. The company always want to achieve certain standards if you're talking right now. And in order to achieve that standard, you need to go for the execution or the implementation. Because implementation, nothing basically, as you know that you might be a very good thing, you could say a strategy maker, but when it's come to its execution, the right time to execute, right manner to execute, what the penetration strategy which the company do have to follow. So starting from the environmental scanning in order to understand about the market analysis, strategy formulation is all about the planning about the strategy for short term and the long term. Once you're done with your planning, definitely it's all about the implementation. It's all about execution, we can say. Then the most important stage is evaluation and control. Evaluation is over here nothing but whatever the company has thought of, whatever the company has planned off, whatever the company has paved off, we can say whether the particular strategy is working in reality or not. That is about the evaluation. If it is working well, definitely we can say that there is no plan, no option for controlling that. Here, the controlling means all the expected result which the company is looking for, whether the company would be able to achieve in reality or not. So the deviation between the variances between standard and the actual performance of the company would come under category of the control. So always remember, the strategic management is basically a 5-step strategies we are talking right now. That is about the environmental scanning, strategy formulation, implementation, evaluation, and control. Okay. Now, when we discuss about this particular part, the most important consideration on daily basis, if we talk about, it's all about analyzing yourself, simultaneously analyzing the market as well. What I'm talking right now, I'm talking about the company's SWOT analysis. Always remember, whenever, even at your personal level, at an organizational level, or at a business level, whenever you want to introspect about the standing of the organization or standing of the company, it is very, very important that you must need to keep in mind about company's SWOT, that is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. Without analysis or without SWOT analysis of the company, it is very, very difficult for the company to design their business policies. And moreover, we are discussing about if the company is basically very weak when it comes to its analysis, definitely it's very, very difficult for them to achieve that industrial objective, to actually very difficult for the company even to survive in the market for the long run. So this is a very basic fundamental we discuss about what is strategy, what is strategic management, and the basic stages of strategic management. Guys, please, any doubt to anyone, please? Because today I'm going to discuss very basic part of strategic management, but from tomorrow I'm more focused about the different models, different, you could say the plans, different methodology, how practically this particular subject will help you out. And that definitely will start from tomorrow itself. But today I'll just give you a very basic brief about this particular subject. Haji, any doubt to anyone till this point, please?
Yes, clear, sir.
Clear, Aishi? Thank you so much. Anyone else? I think the new students?
Clear, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah, thank you, Sujan. Thank you so much. So, the different phases of strategic management we're talking right now. Now, as I told you, the strategy making or strategy formulation always start from financial planning, forecast-based planning, strategic planning, and strategic management. Because a strategic management is the ultimate stage or the last stage of your organization. This is, we can say, about the terminal stage of your planning. But when it's come to the how the strategic management or how the business policy making or how the you could say knitting that particular thread of a company to achieve their vision in the long run, everything is possible with the help of all these 4 important points. The first point we're discussing right now, that is about the basic financial planning. Now, when I'm just talking about the financial planning, what exactly you understood, like how exactly you can explain about what is financial planning in a business? Haji, anyone? Under strategic management, make sure. Yeah, Dheeraj, please.
Allocating financial resources in an efficient manner.
Okay. Allocating, fine. Fine. Anyone else, please? Because before even allocating the finances, I think, Dheeraj, it's more important that the procurement of finances, the source of finances as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because somehow I think you might have a very sound knowledge might be about the finance as well. Because whenever the company is going to start their business, the first and foremost thing and the most important factor, even we can say, which came in the picture, is all about the arrangement of finances. An arrangement of finances may be in the form of debt and equity. So the basic financial planning always start from the procurement of finances or arrangement of the resources. Okay. After that, it's very important that we always need to consider, we always need to keep in mind about how this particular finances may be arranged first. And not only about the arranging of the finances, it's all about their execution as well. Okay, it's called deployment of the funds. Okay, now as we know that when we discuss about the financial planning of any company, financial planning, we are not only talking in the context of the present condition, we are always talking in the condition of the future as well. The most important part is that the basic financial plan or financial planning about the company is for the existing business operations. Along with that, for the new product development, for company's diversification, for company's expansion, each and everything should be strategized properly. And for all such decision making, you always need to keep in mind that the top management, or especially if we talk about the finance manager of the company, must play a very, very crucial role in order to do so. Again, when we discuss about this particular strategic finances, when it comes to future course of action, which may be your new product development, expansion, diversification, or anything, the manager, financial manager or finance manager, we can say, must have a very active and keen watch over the markets, over deployment of funds, over arrangement of funds. And usually the financial planning always takes around 2 to 3 weeks of plan, or even we can say month of time now to prepare it, present it, and have a clarification from the top management in case any changes if they are expecting. So the very basic part about what we're talking right now, basic financial planning of the company for present as well as for the future. Any doubt, please?
So can you explain last 2 points once again, sir?
See, basically, like Dheeraj, when we discuss about the financial planning of your, even for your organization as well, like let us suppose if you, if in the market itself, if you're planning to, let us suppose, introduce, you could say going for a budget declaration as well. As you know that the company's budget is always decided for a financial year or for a calendar year. So usually all the financial plans which the company initiate or implement, it's always for 1 year first of all. And to plan such things, we always take at least a month of time to design, you can say implement and approve from the top management.
Okay. Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Next one, we have forecast-based planning. Now, when we discuss about the forecast-based planning, it's all about the future course of actions. Okay, you can see that it is more thorough analysis. Thorough means basically we are using more about the statistical tool. We are discussing about more about you could say qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, with the help of which we can collect the information when it's come to customer demand, when it's come to future market condition, when it's come to government policies, when it's come to foreign market, when it's come to purchasing power. All these decision making you always would be able to achieve once you have some information or some data available. And with the help of those information only, we will analyze things, and after analysis as well, we would be able to execute and implement all those important aspects in your organization. Now, when we discuss about the forecast-based planning, as we know that the different tools of forecast-based planning may be your, you could say your correlation analysis, regression analysis, time series analysis. When we discuss about some qualitative analysis, when we discuss the brainstorming methods. So all these basically the qualitative and quantitative analysis are helping the organization or helping the manager in order to plan for the company's future course of action. And usually all this plan which the company prepare, it's for medium term. Medium term means it is basically from 3 to 5 years period of time. That is called forecast based planning. I hope you understood what forecasting we're talking right now. I hope so. What type of forecasting we're talking right now. Guys, clear?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please, Srijan, tell me.
Can you please explain it again?
Forecast based planning?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see. First of all, Srijan, tell me what is forecasting? how we can define forecasting in a very simple language. Anything which you understood as per your knowledge.
Sir, it's planning about future.
Planning about future. It's very simple. Right? Now, when it is about the forecast-based planning, you always need to keep in mind you are actually using certain tools, methods, or techniques in order to understand the uncontrollables. Very
Okay.
simple point. Okay, because as you know that, like we discussed about customer demand, we talk about market demand, we talk about government policies, we talk about purchasing power, we talk about inflation or any other economic conditions. We always actually use certain statistical tool in order to have a certain judgment about future, and those judgment, those analysis will give you an idea about how exactly the company can actually plan about the future. For example, you want to actually expand your business. Right now you are running at, suppose, a cafe in a region, and now as you can, your brand is well developed, well established. Now you are thinking just to expand your product line. You want to enter into the lunch, breakfast, or you could say in a dine-in experience for the customer. For such cases, definitely you need to analyze the market first. You need to analyze about type of customer over there. You need to analyze about their taste and preferences. In all such cases, you have to go for market analysis. And these market analysis will give you an idea about how exactly things may move on in the future. That is about the forecast-based planning.
Okay, sir.
Clear, Sujan? Thank you so much. Any
Yes,
more
sir.
doubt, please, to anyone? Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Hanji. Any more doubts?
No, sir.
Perfect. Then we have strategic planning. Okay. Strategic planning is basically more about, like, for example, in the forecast planning, as I told you, we always go for survey, we always go for market analysis. Now, once we have all the information available, the top management always actually go for certain brainstorming. They always actually go for consultation. They always actually go for some suggestions. They always actually go for some discussions, some meetings. This strategic planning is basically more about once the background information or the basic information is available for the company. After that, it's very, very important that the company always need to go through properly it. Along with that, they need to discuss it with their you could say subordinates. They need to discuss with the top level managers as well. And these type of meetings, these type of discussions usually happens once in a year. Usually in AGM we talk about it is for annual general meeting. And these type of planning which the company do is always for long-term period of time. But in order to have a periodic review, they always meet once in a year. That is about the point of your strategic planning. Yes, guys. Strategic planning is very, very simple. And then we have, last but not the least, strategic management. As I discussed already with you, the strategic management is basically a 5-stage process which start from environment analysis, strategic formulation, strategic implementation, evaluation, and control. And as you can see that the strategic management is basically more about an integrated approach by the top management in order to assess the level of requirement, or you can say the requirement at different level when it's come to middle level, lower level, or the top level management, concerned with each and everyone. Give everyone a chance to put forward their words, and on the basis of all those inputs, they will actually take the decision in the organization. And usually, again, this is for the long-term period of time. Okay, and always remember, this strategic management is basically not about a one-time process. It's a dynamic process with the help of which the company always actually change their plan. Company always actually alter their plan in order to, you could say, understand the market, in order to understand the achievements which the company want to looking for. So strategic management is an ongoing process. It's a dynamic process, and each and every level of managers are actively involved for decision making. That is about your strategic management. So you can see that starting from financial planning, forecasting based planning, strategic management, planning, and last one is strategic management. As of now, one more thing I just want to tell you students, because this is a very theoretical point we are discussing right now, and definitely I won't take much of the time today, because tomorrow onwards, we will discuss more about the practical approach for this particular subject. I hope so this particular phases of strategic management are also clear to everyone.
So in strategic planning, we will do analysis like correlation analysis or variance analysis.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, we'll discuss later on, Ms. Poonam, I think. We'll discuss this particular part, but what type of analysis which we do. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So will you share this PPT after the class, sir?
Yes. Not after the class, after the end of this subject. So you will get all the notes. But as of now, I'll just share a few reference notes with you, to reference ebooks with you. Because see, PPT will always give you a very limited knowledge about subjects. Okay. So in order to achieve, in order to have a very good command over subject, please go through with the books or the topics, not books actually. Topics, whatever we are discussing in the classes. I'll share with you, don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anji. Guys, any doubt, please? I think.
No, sir.
Okay. Next to the next part then, benefits of strategic management. I hope so it's very, very simple. Have a look, please. And then we'll move to the elements of strategic management process. As I discussed already, I think with you, that the strategic management is basically helping the company to achieve their strategic vision. Ultimately, what the target, what the basic purpose behind setting up the company, that will give you a very good clearance for the company's point of view. Then your sharper focus on what is strategically important for the company. Means it is all about focusing on the priorities, and or we can say focusing on the positive, and the company always need to strategize all those important things in their business course of actions. And the last one is basically about improved understanding of a rapidly changing environment. That is about each and every organization have to keep in mind about their external environment, how this particular environment may affect the company. These things should be paved off in this particular case of benefits of strategic management.